Another franchise is going to be sacrificed on the altar of woke, and that franchise is Tomb Raider and its main character, Lara Croft. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. We already know that people do not like what Netflix is doing with the upcoming Tomb Raider, the Legend of Lara Croft television series, animated television series that they will be releasing later this year. You can see here that the most recent teaser trailer has around 250,000 views and has a lot more dislikes than likes, 9.4 to 13,000. So people are not liking it, and there is good reason why. Obviously, you've already got this mental illness haircut right here this woman has, romantically touching Lara Croft. There's probably going to be some LGBTQ madness in this show, and they've already completely redesigned Lara Croft. She no longer is kind of the buxom character we have come to expect how she is typically designed. So kind of like even the curves, she doesn't even have any female curves either. It's just absolutely terrible. So the character design is terrible. We're getting weirdo LGBTQ stuff happening. So, and people are noticing this and downvoting it as they should, because this stuff is degenerate. No one wants to see that. But we got some more information here from the actual showrunner. Her name is Tasha Huo. Not sure how to say it. But she spoke with IGN's Katie Rule about the upcoming show, and was asked if making the series animated allows for it to be seen by younger audiences. And Ho said yes. Yeah, the hope was always that everyone could watch it. If you played this game and you have young kids, you could sit and watch it and enjoy this world with them. It's sort of a gateway drug to playing the video games if you're younger. But also, I definitely wrote it for us, for adults, for people who played the games their whole lives and really enjoyed it. And so the themes are very adult. So all of that sounds well and good. That sounds fantastic. I don't really think that there's any issue with what she is saying right there. There's still a lot of violence, but the animation, you're right, does allow it for it to not feel as graphic. And so it does create a bigger space for more people to enjoy, which hopefully they do. Again, none of this is signaling any kind of red flags for me. It all looks fine and dandy. However, she concluded the answer by saying this: I'm writing it for little girls as much as I'm writing it for big girls. So there you go. 100% trying to change the target audience for Lara Croft, making it clear that it is for little girls and for big girls. My guess is that Lara Croft's target audience was primarily male gamers. And they are completely trying to change that now and making it into little girls and big girls. And how has this worked out for franchises that have done this? It has been an utter failure. Just look at the most recent Star Wars television show, The Acolyte, canceled, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month after the finale aired. And no one tuned in. No one watched it. It is the worst performing Disney Plus show on the platform, the worst Star Wars Disney Plus show on the streaming service. We've also seen what happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. What happened to that? They are completely abandoning Phase 4, at least according to Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige. He says they aren't even going to include many of those characters in their upcoming Avengers movies. So it doesn't work when you try to change the target audience of a franchise. It does not work. And I think that is exactly what is going to happen with this show. People are not going to watch it at all. But we're not done. Ho was also asked if she took any creative liberties in terms of reimagining the character for a 2024 audience. This is what she said: I really wanted to capture the Laura that, as a little girl, I really fell in love with, which was someone who takes no crap, who really stands up for herself in every scenario against any villain, man, woman, it doesn't matter. She's going to do what she wants, regardless of who's standing in front of her. As we were writing, as we're animating, it also felt so important to show Lara as empowered at every step of the way. Even when she is at her low point, she is going to find that strength inside of her, and that always inspires me with her and inspired me in the show. And I don't really think there's any issue with that. That does sound like the Lara Croft that we know, which we'll get to. I'll have a whole thread here talking about the original Lara Croft. And then in terms of bringing it into now and away from the games, I also wanted to know more about her relationships. She's so alone in the games. You get a sense that she has people here and there, but she must care about people. And that was also, I think, part of bringing it into the now is how does this woman, who is this incredible badass and who can accomplish so much alone, how does she relate to people? How does she form friendships? And that doesn't have to make her vulnerable because she loves other people. Ho elaborated. So exploring that sort of dichotomy of being vulnerable with friends, but still being an incredible badass. So this sounds absolutely cringe. Doesn't sound very good at all. It sounds like this is something that is completely forced, that Ho is just trying to push onto the character of Lara Croft. That doesn't actually exist for that character. This is a massive red flag. But let's continue here. So we do know that this show is supposed to be unifying the timelines of Tomb Raider, and Ho expressed that sentiment in 2021, saying the team at Crystal Dynamics is hard at work unifying the timelines of Tomb Raider, and we are so excited to be a part of that effort. She added in this teaser trailer that they shared, or this update that they shared. I always wondered how Lara Croft became such an epic and brilliant hero. She's so cool, so calm under pressure, also pretty witty. So to that end, the Tomb Raider anime series from Legendary Television and Netflix will provide fans like you and me around the world with some of the first steps towards unifying the Tomb Raider timelines as we transition beyond the Survivor trilogy and start to follow Lara's journey leading up to the first steps of that first Tomb Raider game. So basically, they're saying that this is a prequel, I guess, to that Tomb Raider game. And then she added this. Now, part of that awesome task is about bringing together pieces from the different Tomb Raider eras, including some of Lara's friends and allies. That is why I'm so thrilled to introduce you to two additional actors who will be joining us on this wild ride. Earl Balin, who will be reprising his role as Jonah Maeva, probably not pronouncing that correctly, from the Survivor trilogy, and Alan Maldonado, who will be voicing the character of Zip from Tomb Raider Chronicles, Legend, and Underworld. And Ho concluded saying, trust me when I say this is an exciting road ahead of us, and I cannot wait for you to join us. So she shared more details on those comments about the timelines with IGN, saying, I had the whole canon in my head because we were coming from the Survivor series. So you had to honor who Lara Croft was, that person that she was in those games, but move her into the person she was in the games where we all started playing, those early 90s games where she's just a very different person. And so it was really exciting to write to Lara becoming that person. How does someone who is like Lara from the Survivor series transform into that person? What goes on to drive her to become that person? Those was just the best questions to have to deal with. And it was really exciting to work in more humor, which is what I really loved about her early days. Getting to kind of combine those two canons has been really fun. She then added this. I think it was fun to be able to have one scene where she does an incredible feat of strength or agility or what have you, the Lara thing, and then another scene where she's hugging a friend and is emotional with them. I think that's something we definitely wanted to explore in terms of Lara's womanhood, because historically she's been written by men. So she has been kind of this cold figure. And I know she's not like that. So that was the exciting part to see sort of behind the veil of how she is in her everyday life. So these people cannot help themselves, always crapping on the people that actually created the icon that allows them the privilege to work on the character, and then completely admitting that they want to put their own imprint on the character to change them. That is exactly what Tasha Huo is saying right here. Those men that wrote Lara Croft, they turned her into this cold figure. That's not who she really is. That's not what she's really like. I'm going to show you who Lara Croft is really like. I'm going to write the real Lara. We see this with Rings of Power showrunners. We're going to write the book that Tolkien never wrote. We chose the Second Age so we could just do willy-nilly with whatever we wanted and not actually have to stay true to Tolkien's Legendarium. We see this over and over and over and over again. And what is the end result? Failure. Failure is the end result because these people do not understand that there's a reason why these characters are popular. And when you change them, people reject it. But that's not the point. That's not why these people do this. They do this because it is a humiliation ritual. They do this because they're trying to propagandize their ideologies onto the people that are watching. That is exactly why they do this. Jon Favreau even admits this, and I don't want to accuse Jon Favreau of trying to push wokeness, even though I do think that he was doing that to some extent in the Mandalorian shows, having Boba Fett get beaten up by the female Mandalorian, et cetera, the whole even in the final episode where Luke shows up, he has the whole female charge, just like in Endgame, super cringe. But he has even admitted that the whole point of creating movies, creating television shows is to pass down the values to the next generation. And you do that through media. And he's admitting this. And this is exactly what they're trying to do here with Lara Croft. They're trying to pass down this value of feminism, which it's not a value, it's the opposite of a value. But that's exactly what they're trying to do. And they're trying to radically change this character. And it's going to fail. It's not going to work because they did just release the remastered games where people got to play the original Lara Croft. And we've also got Melanie Mack out here. She has an excellent thread on X, Tomb Raider fanatic, basically breaking down who the real Lara Croft is. She's got her stats, her nationalities, etc. Goes into her personality, saying not much of a team player. Discovered rock climbing while at Gordonstown and used to set off into the hills alone during netball practice. Also took up shooting as an extracurricular activity, but was instantly banned for showing too keen an interest. So she's not cold. She's just not a team player. That doesn't make someone cold. She just likes to do things herself and likes to get out there and explore and be independent. That doesn't mean you're a cold person. It's utterly ridiculous that what Tasha Huo is saying there. However, that strength that climbing gave her fingers was to become useful when she started pulling triggers for real. The daughter of Lord Hinchingley Croft, Lara was brought up in the secure world of aristocracy, surrounded by tenants, butlers, and corgis. But this all started to change when she went to the renowned school of Gordonstown and found the mountains of Scotland. Later, at her Swiss finishing school, she took to the art of extreme skiing and spent a holiday in the Himalayas searching for more challenging terrain. On her return trip, however, the plane crashed deep within the mountains, and Lara was the only survivor. So clearly, there's a reason why she does things herself. There's a reason why she's independent. And obviously, she has like this scar of being the lone survivor on this plane crash. 2 weeks later, when she walked into a mountain village, her experiences had a profound effect on her. Unable to stand the suffocating atmosphere of upper-class British society any longer, she realized she was only truly alive when she was traveling alone. So there you go. There's clear story as to why she is so independent, why she does things herself. But no, she's just cold. That's just not the way she is. And I'm going to show you that's not who Lara Croft really is, says Tasha Huo. Despite this drastic life change, Lara still remains the essence of her upbringing, most notably with her polite upper class accent. Lara's parents, though, have sported hopes of her marrying the Earl of Farringdon, were less than convinced about this chosen lifestyle and ceased to associate with their daughter, even terminating her monthly allowance. The Earl is still waiting. While in England, Lara lives in a mansion in Surrey, which she inherited many years ago. At one time, she saw little use in it, but now realizes that, if nothing else, it is at least handy for storing all the artifacts she has acquired on her travels. She also has had a custom-built assault course constructed in the grounds for training purposes. Lara doesn't consider tomb raiding as a job, merely a way of life, though she has been known to uncover archaeological artifacts on commission to fund her radical lifestyle. Lara writes travel books. Titles so far have included Tyrannosaurus is jawing at my head and slaying Bigfoot. Her common complaint, though, is that she doesn't have enough time to put pen to paper because she's too busy raiding tombs. And then her lucky charm, any gun at hand. And then Melanie has links to the full original bio from on the Tomb Raider Chronicles website. And there's an expanded version from Tomb Raider 4 on ratingtheglobe.com. But I think she gives a pretty good, clear picture of who Lara Croft is in the Tomb Raider franchise. This character will likely not be showing up in the upcoming Netflix animated show based on those comments from showrunner Tasha Huo. And it's just another franchise that is going to be destroyed by feminism. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.